Hello, and welcome back to Saad's Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. Big ups to everybody that is tuned in nice and early. We are late because of me. I apologize, guys. I apologize profusely that we are late because of me. But listen, we are here to do the Saad X Ash show, which you guys love all the time. Big up to everybody that is tuned in. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. I am under weather today. I've got the flu. I've got everything, tonsillitis, everything basically. So, not going too well for me. But I
But he's
am
still
joined
here,
here.
guys. But he's still here.
Yeah, we're still here, man. I am joined today by the main man himself, my Maghribi brother, in the building with me. It's none other than Ash. We are back again. Ash, how you doing, my brother?
Back again, as troops like to say.
Back again. Big
Yeah,
things,
man.
man.
Big up, big up. Hope you're doing well, Saad, and recovering.
Yeah, man.
It's
Trying, bro.
not the best
Trying.
time to get sick, but yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. It's nice. Looking forward to the
Mhm.
show. I think we have some exciting topics,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, definitely.
intriguing ones. So yeah, guys, hit the like buttons and stay tuned in,
Mm.
man. We're gonna delve deep into these and yeah, man, just share your thoughts. Share your thoughts.
100%, 100%. Guys, we are going to get right into the topics. The topics of discussion today are or involve the Enzo situation. We're going to give our thoughts on Enzo Fernandez and the whole situation regarding the Argentinian national team. We are also going to be speaking about the Calafiori deal. Is it off? Is it still on? We will speak about that. We'll also be speaking about Yoro, Lenny Yoro making his move to United over Real Madrid. We will also be speaking about Xavi Simons to Bayern Munich and also be touching on Joao Neves to PSG. We will be covering all these topics, but guys, like I said, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to get that done for me, people. And I think we should begin. And I'm gonna give you the floor first, Ash, because I've spoken about this a couple of times on other channels.
Mm.
I'll speak about it after, but I just want to get your because I don't think we've heard your opinion on it. So I'm going to give you the floor. What are your thoughts on this whole situation with Enzo Fernandez and the Argentinian national team as a whole? Obviously, we're hearing that apparently the vice president of Argentina has come out and said
Yeah.
that we don't need to apologize, and obviously Enzo Fernandez himself has issued public and personal apologies to his teammates. But what's your
Mm.
whole thoughts on this situation?
Yeah, I think it's I want to thread lightly, but at the same time I don't want to, because I think it might as well be honest about it's unfortunately something that we have seen in the past with the Argentinian national team. And I'm not trying to paint a brush on Argentina as a country or the Argentinian people, because I personally don't know any Argentinians to be able to say that this is something that is there with the people. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm pretty sure
Mm,
they must be great people, but we've seen this with the national team before. We've seen them either, if not make racist remarks, then do certain things that they shouldn't be doing. I remember back to the Qatar World Cup when they won the World Cup, and Emiliano Martinez taking the Golden Glove and just like humping it right there in front of everyone in a place where you know that you shouldn't be doing something like that. It's quite disrespectful to the hosts. And now with this chant, and I didn't even know like how bad it was, because I only read the first half initially.
mm.
But then I actually saw the whole thing yesterday, and I was like, there's no way they actually sang this live like that, which is insane. And the fact that he's issued an apology, I personally don't think he's thought of the apology himself. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
his PR team and probably team from Chelsea must have told him, "Hey, you need to do this because we're trying to do damage control."
yeah,
Right? Because I don't rate the guy that much, to be honest. I don't think he's that great of a player. I think he's either average or above average. But clearly for Chelsea and for a lot of Chelsea fans, he is an important player. He's a very important midfielder. He's integral to the way they play football, no matter how average that football was last season, to be fair. And yes, FK, I know that Argentina definitely have a dark history with the black race, but yeah, Chelsea fans, since they view him as someone important, I think unfortunately we live in a world where these things are going to be taken into account, right? And I
mm,
saw, I was watching most channel. I saw Kunle, big up Kunle, who was
yeah,
saying
okay.
when John Terry did something similar, when he made a racist remark. Actually, to be honest, even though John Terry, obviously racism is racism, it's bad for sure. But I feel like what Enzo and his teammates were singing is even worse, especially when you read the translation and everything. Um, but when John Terry did something that's clearly racist and he should have been penalized for it, like what happened? Like he continued playing, nothing changed. And I actually think it's going to be the same thing with Enzo. Um, one thing that a lot of people ask is like, what would you do if you were in that situation? So, like, what would this person do? What should Todd Bowley do?
Mm,
Um, and my answer might not please a lot of people, but if I'm Todd Bowley, unfortunately, again, he's going to look at it from a business perspective. And I think most business people would look at it from that perspective, where they'll reach out to Enzo. They'll say, hey, listen, first of all, what you did was horrendous. What the hell were you thinking? Obviously, sit him down, reprimand him, all that stuff.
mm,
And then I think to make sure it doesn't lead to any friction with the team, they're going to make him sit with all the players affected, whether directly or indirectly, whether it's Wesley Fofana, whether it's Disasi, your Sterlings, Maduekes, whoever it is, and just sit with Enzo right there and be like, listen, you need to apologize to them, and we need to make sure that there's no friction. And once that's happened, I think they're going to just ask him to lay low on social media. No posting anything on your Instagram, no posting anything on your freaking Facebook, no posting anything on your Twitter or whatever the hell it is, right? Because the less people talk about this, the better it is for the club. I've seen people say something like, "Oh, sell him" and all that stuff. That's never going to happen. Again, especially given that Chelsea fans and the management, I guess, view him as an important player, especially with the kind of money they've paid for him. The reality of the matter is they're not going to sell him. And from a business perspective, as crazy as this sounds, I understand that. I can see it from a business perspective why they wouldn't do that. But logically, he should be penalized. Argentina should get a massive fine by FIFA, right? I don't know if like, oh, banning them from the next World Cup is going about it the right way, because they might easily come back to say that there's no precedence for this because there's been other racist incidents by other countries and other clubs and other teams, and the same kind of punishment has not happened on them. So unfortunately, um, it's not taken in that kind of it's not going to be taken in that kind of extent. But I'm pretty sure that Chelsea
mm,
will sort of, when I say penalize him, they will penalize him, but not like in the sense that they will sell him or ban him from playing games. I think they'll penalize him by just making him apologize, lay low from social media, and maybe like, get him involved in like, I don't know, certain things like whether it's community work or whatever it is, just to make sure that he's somehow enhancing his image. But in my opinion, like there shouldn't be any comeback from this. And honestly, given that I think he's above average, if I were Chelsea, I would just figure out a way to get rid of him in the next 2 seasons.
mm. Yeah, listen, I completely agree with a lot what you were saying, man. I think in this situation, firstly, what they done was disgusting. And it has no place in football. It had no place in regular life. Forget about just football in regular life.
Yeah.
For you to for you to sit there and criticize someone for working or doing a job, because this is their job, doing a job for another country, and then you're criticizing them because you're from a different country than the country you're working in. Do you know what I mean? So definitely something that we need to look at in regards to fixing. And the thing is, the whole say no to racism, the whole racism support and everything like that. This has been going on for a while, and I think we although they're trying to do it, I don't know whether they're doing it the right way, because even
Mm.
the whole get down on the knee and then kneel for saying no to
Such a
racism.
useless
it
stance.
it went on for too long. Players just started to do it because we have to do this now. Do you know what I
Exactly. It
mean?
does
You
nothing.
have to you have to keep the message alive. If you keep on doing the same thing, then eventually the message is just gonna get swept under the rug, and then you're just doing it because it's just a thing that you have to do now. It's just become like something, become like a chore. So listen, I think there definitely needs to be some work done on the racism campaigns and trying to get trying to get rid of racism in football, and I think also
Mm.
the fans, they need to do more about banning fans who are racist, um, or who are prejudiced in the stands as well, because that happens a lot. Um, but listen, overall, I think it was disgusting what happened, and what they done. The song what they were singing, and what they said in that song. I also think that it's not only Enzo Fernandez. There's a few players in there. Alvarez was there next to him singing as well. Apparently in the back it was Lissandro Martinez as well was there singing. I think Rodrigo De Paul was there singing. He was standing up or something like that. But you have to understand that it's not right in any walk of life. It's not right. Racism is not right. Racism is not good. Racism is not something that you just do. And the thing is, I wouldn't even racism as a whole. Forget about him videoing it and putting it on his thing, because that does show arrogance. That does show that he thinks he's untouchable. That does show that he thinks he can't be touched or he can't be told what to do. But the reality is, if he's doing this out in the open, what is he saying behind closed
100%.
doors? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may even be worse. He may be using the N word on regular occurrence when talking about
Mm.
players, and this is a worrying thing. Do you know what I mean? That these players are racist, and for me personally, I wouldn't want a racist player at my team. If any of my players were racist, I don't care who it is on the team right now. If they're racist, I would want them to leave straight away. I wouldn't want us to keep them, and that's just the reality of the situation. But either way, I think there needs to be serious stuff done. He needs to be banned for a few games. If it was me, I'd ban him for 6 months. See, give him the same kind of treatment that was given to the players who bet, because I've seen that going around a lot, and I think that's actually a viable punishment. Give him the Ivan Tony treatment. You get 8 months ban from football. You're not allowed to play football, because I think the FA,
Yeah.
I think FIFA as a whole are involved now, and they're doing an investigation. I think UEFA are going to be doing a investigation as well. I also think that Chelsea are doing their own investigation as well. So, listen, it's disgusting. What happened to him what they were saying is disgusting, and it has no place in the game. And that is pretty much it from my end, to be honest.
Bro, and I'll tell you, there's nothing that's gonna happen with it, because the fact is, like, one thing that Enzo and whatever lawyers he gets in, if it becomes that kind of if it gets escalated to that kind of level, is that there's been lots of precedents before this and nothing has happened. Like, you can reference back to the Osimhen situation last year, right, when Napoli released that video, and it was clearly insulting him, whether it was racially or not, but it came out Vinicius Jr., all the attacks he's had with racism and stuff. Like,
Mm,
nothing is going to change, because unfortunately there's been no precedence, and that's how these people are always going to latch on to that thing, that hey, it hasn't been done before. There's been these racist incidents, and you haven't done anything. Why are you starting here with our player, or why are you starting here with them? And as I said, from a Chelsea perspective as well, if they do value the player, unfortunately they're not going to do anything about it, because they're going to say that, listen, we need the guy, and our priority is to get top four, our priority is to earn more revenue, and if Enzo helps us achieve that, they're not going to care about it as much. As you mentioned, I just don't understand. Obviously, what he's done is bad on any level, whether it's recorded or not, but how stupid must you be to be recording this live and saying that? You're either that
mm,
stupid, or you were so intoxicated that you couldn't think straight and understand, yo, I shouldn't be recording something like that. I'm not saying he should be doing it behind scenes or not. Of course, he shouldn't be doing it anyways. But to record it is even worse. I'm pretty sure there are lots of players who probably out there are racist, and they just don't record it, and we just don't know about it. And what's even more interesting for me is, why are they still harping on France? Like, the World Cup final was 2 seasons, it was 2 years ago. It's done. It's not like they had some sort of
but they've
rivalry
caused a
with
load of
France.
troubles. They caused a load of trouble. Even one incident you didn't speak about
Hmm.
in the World Cup in Qatar is the massive incident with Netherlands,
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
kicked
yeah,
kicked the ball
exactly.
into they kicked the ball into the bench, and it hit. I
But you
think it
see,
hit a player in the face. Like,
correct, but
bro,
while I'm not
causing
condoning that, and
trouble,
I don't
bro.
think that's okay. While I don't condone that, and I don't think that's okay, and I hate when teams play dirty that way, because that kind of shows you're not winning just based on your skill. You're also winning
Mm,
based on the dark arts, which for me, like, is not something I praise in football at all. It's actually a coward's game.
mm,
But that's still something in football. It's the same way how I find it extremely dishonest and annoying when someone, let's say, gets touched on the shoulder, but then they touch their face and they roll around, right? Because that's also for me cheating. And even if it's not cheating, it's just cowardly, right? However, that's still at least on the pitch. Like the game with France is over. There's been no rivalry with France. It's not like France was like kicking them all over the pitch, or they were cursing at them, or
mm,
they attacked them, or they abused them. And I know how all this sparked, and I can tell you this for sure. It's because the tensions between Messi and Mbappe in PSG were so high, and they obviously had that sort of animosity, right? They still speak in public, like with respect to each other because they're playing the political game. But anyone who's been watching PSG for the last couple of years, and I can assure, I watched like 30 PSG games a season, and I'm telling you, the tension that these guys have was so damn high that I think it kind of translated to the national team of Argentina as well, because the way these guys treat Messi, and they like kind of idolize him, and they will die on the pitch for him.
mm.
They wanted to basically attack Mbappe because even the song that they chanted, the comment about the transgender thing and all, like that's actually a reference to Mbappe,
To
right?
Mbappe, yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah. So
Because
they're doing whatever they can to attack Mbappe. And when they won the World Cup, obviously, you saw what Emiliano Martinez did. Like he carried like a baby thing, like a baby doll, or whatever, with Mbappe's picture on it.
mm,
This is post World Cup. Why don't you just celebrate and move on? And instead of like still larping on. That's why next, honestly, if it wasn't for Messi, I don't think anyone would even want their country to win, except Argentinians, obviously. And I think their vice president coming out and making that stupid comment. Yes, we
stupid.
understand. We understand. Okay, what some part of what she's saying about France as a colonist country and they have done this and they're super racist. I agree with that. Fair enough, right? Maybe you can talk about that. It doesn't justify what your guy has done. That makes no sense. Are you saying because France has colonized countries in the past and been racist in many incidents, that means it's okay for you to now go and attack their players that way? Like, how does that make any sense?
That's the most stupid thing I've
Yeah.
ever seen. That's like somebody saying that's like me having a business, and then one of my guys commits theft, and I'm like, oh, hold on, but the company that he stole for stealing from us, and was stealing from other players, and was stealing from other places as well, and they're thieves as well. So if we stole from them, but they steal from other people, it's okay. No, it's still a crime, dummy.
It's crazy.
It's still wrong, dummy. Like, how does that make any sense? You acting like
Yeah.
your guys are okay just because France were doing something that was racial and racist and all of that. It's so dumb from the vice president. And the vice president really needs to get his head out of his ass and start thinking logically, mate.
Her,
Because this
her,
guy,
her. Are. It's a woman. What's her name?
is it
Victoria
a
something. I
woman?
forgot. Yeah, yeah. She's the vice president. I
So she needs
forgot
to
what her
get her
name
head
was.
out of her ass because she's
Yeah.
talking shit. Clearly, she's talking shit. And if she really felt racism, then she wouldn't be speaking like that.
Yeah, Victoria
She's clearly
Villarreal.
she's
Villarreal.
clearly never felt racism in her life. She's never had to come across racism of any kind.
Yeah.
The way we're reacting right now is because everybody who's reacting here maybe has seen racism to some sort of point
100%.
on
Yeah.
yourself. Do you know what I mean? I've definitely come up against racism before. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
me too.
you have as
Many
well.
times. Me too.
So,
Many times, bro.
like, this is something that happens in life. In normal life, you come up against racism, and it's such a big thing in the world which we need to try and stop, because there's so many people that are racist, and there's people that are racist. There's people that are subconsciously racist. They don't even realize they're doing it, but they are, just because of how they're raised and how they're brought up, things
Yeah.
that they were told to like and things that were told to not like. So it's a massive problem. But anyway, that is the Enzo Fernandez bit done in the whole situation. I think we had to speak about it on this show
Yeah,
because I
100%. You have
haven't
to.
covered it on the channel yet, so I might as well have done it now. Um, let's move on to the Calafiori deal. Um, so as we've been told, I've been told so many different things. I've been told this, I've been told that. Apparently Bologna wanted to add a sell-on clause. Then apparently they wanted to decrease the sell-on clause from Basel. Then apparently they wanted us to include Jakob Kivior, and apparently now, before I went on the terrace, I saw that apparently Bologna now want 42 million up front. Is apparently what they
Mm.
want. So I'm so confused as to what's going on with this signing. Um, it's taking way too long. To be honest, I'm completely sick and tired, man. I just need us to hurry up and get this shit done now. Like, okay, I was patient at the start, and I understood like it would take some time. You know, we're trying to get the best deal, but at this point, it's taking a bit too long now. I think we need to start moving a bit quicker because we got pre-season that is uh, rapidly approaching, and we need to be
Yeah.
ready because we're in a position, like I said on the terrace, where you can't. You're no longer in a position where you can sacrifice like maybe losing a game in the first 3 or 4 games. You can't do that anymore. You have to start winning from the first game. So
Yeah.
we have to get back to work and we have to do it ASAP. So um yeah, I think Calafiori is a good player as we've discussed anyway. We discussed Calafiori, but the deal being off, I think at the moment it's in discussion. I don't think it's off. We haven't heard anything. I think it's just stalled. Um, but yeah, what's your thoughts on this whole stalling business?
Look, I think it's typical Arsenal. We do this quite often where we try to like haggle, we try to negotiate as much as possible and get um preferable payment terms. It's something we've done for many years, especially with this Edu and Josh Kroenke fully taking over. Personally, I think the deal will get done. I genuinely do. I think they're gonna like negotiate over this. They're gonna come to some sort of agreement in the end. Remember, even the Rice deal last season took a long time. Like we heard about the news initially from David Ornstein that it's gonna happen, it's confirmed, he's gonna move, and or Arsenal are putting in a serious bid, and then actually it only took like a couple of weeks for it to get done because they were still haggling over the 5 million extra or how much ever it was. Um, I think for
Now
sure the deal,
it was the 3 years, wasn't it? Payment over
something like
three
that.
years.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
they were haggling about.
Exactly. Look, if it's over 10 million, because that's what I read from Fabrizio today, that it was like they're still haggling on that 10 million difference. I think they'll eventually find a common ground. I'm pretty sure Arsenal will not pay like 42 million upfront or 43 or whatever Bologna is asking for. I'm assuming maybe like Bologna are a bit spoiled because of what's happening with Xerxes. Maybe like United give them favorable terms. I don't know. So they thought, why not ask the same thing from Arsenal? I'm not sure what the um, Xerxes deal went
I
like.
think
Uh,
the Basel sell-on clause is hurting them a lot.
Probably, yeah, yeah,
Apparently it's like
exactly.
50%.
Yeah, it is fifty
Half the
percent. If
money, half the
if it's
money
fifty
goes to
percent,
them.
if it's above 25 million, so it's obviously going to be above 25 million, I think, or something like that. So it will go
Yeah.
to them. But yeah, look, I think if Arteta and Edu have identified that we need this guy and he's going to make a massive difference, they won't let it go easy. They're going to negotiate. It probably will take another couple of weeks, like especially if Bologna want to play hardball. But um, my only concern is if another team comes in serious, right, and puts in a proper bid. Like now that Real Madrid have lost Lenny Yoro, I say lost, even though I think they've actually kind of walked away from the deal. Would they maybe like focus on that instead? Someone that can play left back and center back for them. Would Chelsea maybe like come in with a proper bid and maybe make some room by selling some players and trying to push for Calafiori, like and because they were anyways linked with him before. Um, these are definitely things I am concerned about because right now I think given that he's agreed terms with us and he wants to join us, it makes things easy. So as long as we give Bologna what we want, we get the player. But
Mm.
I also understand why they're trying to haggle and negotiate this way because if we were only signing Calafiori this summer, by the way, I don't think they haggled as much. I think they probably agree on something and they move on. I think because we plan to get another 2 or 3 players, which is why they're trying to be careful about how they
Yeah.
spend the transfer kitty, which for me is encouraging signs. Like that's a good thing. That means they're not going to stop with the transfer with the business after this transfer. So I'm not that concerned. I would only
Mm.
start getting slightly concerned if a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich or a Barca,
Start
whoever
getting
come in,
involved.
yeah, get involved and they start
Oh
having
no, not
serious
Barcelona. Not
conversations.
Barcelona.
You never know, bro. They're gonna
Barcelona can't
afford.
afford anybody.
Nah, nah. What do you mean? The president of La Liga actually came out saying they're very close to being able to afford Nico Williams. They're very close. So because they have to get their finances sorted, and this is the president of La Liga, not even the president of Barcelona, not even Laporta. So I don't. Obviously, they don't have the kind of luxury and money spending power that a lot of other big clubs have because of how they screwed their finances over the last 10 years or so.
Mm,
But I think if they want to get 2 or 3 players, bruh, they will find a way to get it done. Remember last we spoke about this 2 seasons ago or last season. Oh man, they're not gonna get anyone. They have to sell grass, and everyone was making jokes about them. And look what they went and did. They got Lewandowski, they got Rafinha, they got Kunde. Chelsea were apparently done deal with Rafinha, goes to Barca. Done deal with Kunde, goes to Barca. Lewandowski, what is he going to do? He's going to leave Bayern finally, goes to Barca. Like these guys, I'm telling you, Barca and Real Madrid have a different level of pull. It's an absolutely different level of pull, bro. And if they want to get a player and the player only wants to join them, which is 90% of the time, they find a way to make it happen. Which is why with Nico Williams, there's no question he's going to join Barcelona this summer because it's just a release clause in the
you
end. But
know,
yeah, I'm not worried about Calafiori right now.
yeah, you know what? I do like the point you make though. I like the point you make about if the way we're haggling about this one clearly shows that we're trying to go in for other deals. That's why
Yeah,
we're probably being a bit more pinpoint and trying to get our what we want over
yeah.
what they want because we want to make sure we have the money to spend. Obviously, we got told we've got 250 million to spend. That's pounds, obviously, so that's going to be more in euros. It's probably going to be about 300 something in euros. Um, so yeah, listen, for me, we got Ash by the way. For me, I'd look at it like this. It's just a situation where we need to get people in. We need to get people to hurry up and come in now so we can get them integrated into the team. That's my main worry. I don't even care about this whole money business and all of this. I just care about them coming in, getting integrated into the team and playing in the preseason. And by the way, while we're sticking on to Arsenal quickly,
Hmm.
I read something and I just want to let me see if I can bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up actually because I think I sent it to myself. Uh,
By the way, we have to discuss something before we end the show later, huh? That you didn't put in the thing about your country's beautiful defeat in the final against Spain. Because we never caught up after that.
there you are. There you are.
Yeah, there I
There
am.
you are.
There I am.
There
There I
you are.
am. Viva
Firstly,
la
I am.
España. I
First of
predicted
all,
Spain reaching the finals from the very
first.
beginning, and I
Okay,
said
can
you will
I?
knock out Germany,
There
and
you
you
are.
guys laughed at me. And I said, hey, listen, actually, they're a very good team. And people are like, oh, because it's the tournament started. I predicted them before the tournament started to get all the way to the finals. I didn't think they'll win. I thought they'll lose to France. Fair enough. They actually did well there, but yeah, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss
You're a fraud.
it.
You're a
No, I'm
fraud.
not.
I hope you know that. I
No,
hope you know
I'm not.
that. But listen, I think look at this FK guy, bro. Allah. Listen, don't run.
Don't
why?
run.
Why are you running? Why are you running? Oh man, that's legendary. By the way, big up Ashraf, man. He's a mod of the channel, man. Big up, big up, big up, big up. I might as well just make FK a mod, man. Since FK is always here, bro. FK is always here to run in his mouth, mate. Run in his mouth, but he rates Saka, so he's one of the good ones, bro. He's one of the good ones. Do you know what I mean? He rates Saka when Arsenal fans don't rate Saka. That's crazy, bro. It's nuts out here, bro. But anyway,
I mean, you can't be talking
yeah.
about me because
And
I rate him.
anyway, um, let's quickly. I just wanted to show you something. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know why you always get tagged with this hating on Saka vibe, bro.
I don't know. Honestly, I have
Hold
no
that.
idea why
Hold that, you fraud. Um,
people
this
can take a
AFC
little
Mex
criticism.
guy has
Mm.
come out and he said after a summer of relentless training, Gabriel Jesus has significantly reduced his body fat percentage and is in the best shape we've seen since he joined Arsenal. Compared to the last match of the season, Gabriel Jesus has a much more compact and well-formed body. Gabriel Jesus will definitely stay at Arsenal next season unless someone is willing to pay a huge figure of 60 million or more on the negotiation table. Then that could change accordingly, according to team news and ticks. Whatever you say, Gabriel Jesus before his knee injury at the World Cup was still a dangerous and worth watching player at Arsenal's top. Gabriel Jesus' ability to single-handedly break through opponents' defenses and create breakthroughs when he is in his best condition is truly something no one at Arsenal can match. If Gabriel Jesus can return to form before the 2022 World Cup next season, he will be an extremely valuable factor to Arsenal's squad. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Gabriel Jesus returning to form this year?
My thoughts
Apparently,
are,
he's worked hard, bro, over the summer.
yeah. My thoughts are, for starters, whoever this AFC Mex is or whatever, like I'm curious to know what his sources are for measuring the body fat and checking that, yeah, Gabriel
Yeah, I don't know
Jesus
how he's
has
doing that, bro.
actually lost weight and trimmed the body fat, not just lost weight, but trimmed his
Bro,
body
it's the
fat.
body fat. It's the
Um,
body fat, bro.
yeah, yeah,
It's the body fat, bro. Like, did
it's
he
crazy.
go up with the body fat thing, bro? You know the thing that clips on.
Yeah,
Did he
yeah,
go onto
yeah,
it?
yeah.
He was like, "Yep, yeah, that's less than last time because I was here
Exactly.
measuring
Imagine,
it
and he did
last
it,
time."
and he did it through like
Fucking
Instagram and through
hell.
social media by just taking a picture. And like he downloaded an app that tells him scan any player, any human, and we can tell you what their body fat is. Like I don't know,
That's
like
a
it's
scam,
mad.
bro. That's a scam, bro.
Unless he's working with the nutrition team or the training team at Arsenal. I'm not sure how he got that out. But anyways, look, I definitely I rate Gabriel Jesus, and I think that period when he joined us, so that preseason he had up until the World Cup time when he went for the World Cup, he was incredible. He was
Okay.
absolutely incredible. The guy was like, he had like 5 goals at the time. I think maybe another 5 assists as well. He was destroying teams. He was dribbling past
Yeah.
people, creating chances out of nothing. Um, and I genuinely think if everyone is fit and everyone is in their best possible form, he is our best striker in the club. He's better than Havertz. He's better than Trossard. Yeah, he cannot finish like Trossard, but he does a lot of things that Trossard cannot do. The issue is, I know people might say, "Oh, injury." Like injury, like really affected him. His knee injury, he couldn't turn the same way because he's someone who obviously likes to cut a lot, and that obviously puts a lot of stress and pressure on the knees. And if he already had a knee problem and he never fully recovered from it, it becomes a lot harder for him to do the same kind of dribbles and cuts and swift turns that he usually would do. Especially if and it'll also slow him down, right? Especially if that's his main playing style, and especially when he doesn't have good conversion. Because if he at least had good finishing, he could have maybe adapted
Mm,
his game while he's recovering from his injury to be more of a poacher, more of a finisher, to be more clinical in front of goal and just wait for the right moments and to pounce on those chances. But he's not. He's never been that kind of striker. So he does rely on his dribbling and his ball holding abilities.
mm.
If he can actually get to that level, which is not impossible, the guy is not like 28, 29. He's 20, what, 26, 25, 26. So he's definitely not old, and I don't think he's hit his. He might have reached his peak in that period, but I don't think he's crossed his peak. I think he's still in that
Yeah.
peak era. He just needs to stay fit, get his knees in shape. Whether it's, I don't know if he has to do a surgery or
Apparently he had
physiotherapy or
one
whatever
over
it
the
is.
summer. Apparently over the summer he had a minor surgery to remove that liquid or whatever it was
Yeah,
that
excess fluid.
he
Yeah,
had, the excess fluid. Apparently he
yeah,
got that removed via surgery. It doesn't take long to recover from that. Apparently it only
yeah,
takes
yeah,
like
yeah.
4 weeks or something like that to recover from
Yeah.
it, which is fairly short, bro. It's a month. Do you know what I mean? So he got that off right after the season ended, and then obviously he's been back training even on his holiday. He was still training on his holiday, like football training and stuff. So
Mm,
he's clearly trying to get back into shape. And I think that's one of the main issues for him was his knee. I never thought he was really overweight. I just thought his knee was the issue, bruv, and you could
yeah,
see it because he wouldn't run with that burst of pace anymore. Like even though he isn't the fastest player, he still had a, a certain burst of pace that you could see,
yeah.
and he'd be able to
And he was
sprint.
pretty quick when he was younger. He was
Yeah,
actually pretty quick.
but now he just it looks like it's holding him back. Do you know what I mean? But I definitely think for me, Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli, those are the two players that I think are gonna have a very good season this season. I think they're
Hopefully.
due a comeback. I think they're due a comeback, man, and I think
Mm,
they'll definitely both have good seasons this season, man. I think they're due it, and yeah, man, I feel like they're gonna definitely do that. But moving on, brother, moving on. Um, thoughts on the Lenny Yoro signing to
oh,
Manchester United?
the what do they call him? The Mbappe of defending. That's what's
Brother, there's only one person that's the Mbappe of defenders, mate, and that's the real Mbappe
Saliba.
of defenders. That's
Yeah.
the Rolls Royce. That's the Rolls Royce Phantom, mate. Yeah, Come on, bro.
Look,
Alright.
I rate Yoro. I've watched him a couple of times with Lille. I watched the French league. I watched the Liga a lot, especially over the last 4 years. I think he's a very very good defender. Intercepts really well. Obviously, he's got good height, which would be, and his long legs that help him like intercept a lot of these passes. Good tackler. Reads the game really really well.
Hmm.
He's also a threat, obviously, like from set pieces because of his height and his aerial threat. I think he's a good defender. He definitely has a good future. I just I don't see this working necessarily that well with United. Not because I don't think he's good enough, but because I don't think United will nurture him well enough.
Hmm.
we I was praising United for what they were doing in last, like at the end of last season or in the summer. With Ineos coming in, Omar Barada taking over, them getting Dan Ashworth and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, they're actually making changes, and they're putting people in the right positions that know what they need to do. They're putting actual football people. When I say football people, I don't necessarily mean like former professional footballers, but I'm saying people who actually name a player that has joined. Yeah, that's so true. I literally had this conversation last time. Airport Atheist, for a weird name, but I had this conversation earlier, and I was saying once I remember, and I think in Saad's channel, I was saying that if you look at how many players they've taken, how many talents they've taken, maybe not necessarily in defense, but actually, to be honest, even in defense, because what if you remember Aaron Wan-Bissaka when he was at Crystal Palace? The guy was so highly rated. A lot of teams wanted him, and they were talking about him being one of the best next big things and stuff as a right back. And now he's become a big joke.
Bro,
They're like,
we even spoke about on the last show that we done last week.
yeah,
We spoke about
yeah.
it. We spoke about it with Donny van de Beek, bro.
Donny
What
van de
the hell
Beek, you've got
happened there, bro?
Bruh, Mkhitaryan, Pogba, Depay, Mata. Mata was okay, but I don't think he was at that same level that he was at Chelsea. Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez, when he joined them, was our top scorer that same season because he
Yeah,
joined them in Jan. He was still the same Alexis Sanchez, and he goes
that
there.
was weird.
And a week later, he tells his agent, "Can I go back to Arsenal? Is there a way we can cancel this deal?" And it was already too late then. Like so many talents they've taken, and they've just ruined them. So I feel like taking someone, and if, anyways, I was praising them for all the changes they've made, but it seems now they've gone to the same kind of mistakes I've been making before, which is overpaying. 52 million for an 18-year-old.
Do you know how
And
much he's
80,
on a week?
how much? Like, no,
100,
like you mean now or with Lille?
no, how much he is on now?
How much?
112K a week.
Oh my god,
And
for an
at Lille,
18-year-old, bro.
at Lille he was on 7,000 a week.
Yeah, it's bro, it's insane. Which means if they offered him 40 or 50 max, he probably would have taken it anyways. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like anyone who's sitting there thinking, oh my god, he's so, I'm not trying to like disrespect United fans or upset you guys, but the fact is, if any United fan is sitting there thinking, yeah, he's chosen us because he's chosen us over United, bro, he didn't choose you over United. He didn't choose you over Real Madrid. There is no logical scenario where any player would take United over Real Madrid unless it's money. None whatsoever. And I'm not even talking about United now. I'm talking about even peak United versus peak Real Madrid. Unless you're
It was never gonna
unless you're
happen.
English, you never ever choose United over Real Madrid. That's just the reality of the matter.
Let's
Especially
not
when Real
forget,
Madrid.
bro. David Beckham, bro. The whole thing
What
was
about
there,
him?
bro. Taken, bro. Bang, gone.
No. Yeah, exactly. He was taken. Yeah, but the thing is, I think David Beckham is a bit different because Fergie wanted him out at the time.
I listen. That
Um,
doesn't matter, bro. We don't dig into the context, bro. We just make statements and we go by
fair,
it. Yeah.
fair. Agenda
Why are you
must
trying to bring
agenda.
up the contest? Why are you guys trying
Agenda
to bring
must
up the
agenda.
context?
Nah, I hear you. I missed the memo. My bad. But yeah, look, I think he's a very talented player, but I think United went about it the wrong way. Like overspending money like that. I think if they could not get him for like 30 million or so, they should have just walked away. He shouldn't be someone they rely on for next season, anyways. Because even if they're trying to just get into top four, which should be the minimum aim for a team like United, because if we say that Arsenal, City, and maybe Liverpool are probably securing top four, that fourth spot should 100% be open for United, because I don't see why Tottenham or Chelsea or even Aston Villa, who have done amazing last season and have already seen already seem to be strengthening the team well by signing Onana. I don't see why these teams should be clear of United. That gives United no chance of finishing top four.
By the
So
way,
spending,
they're a serious threat. By the way, sorry, carry
yeah,
on with
hundred
this,
percent.
but I think we do need to quickly. We might. How long do you have? Are you good?
Yeah, like I would say 20 minutes.
Okay, we might not have time, but
Yeah, yeah.
next we'll speak on it on the next
We
one
will
because we
speak. We
need
will
to
speak on Villa
discuss.
for sure.
We need to discuss Villa, bro, because they're
Yeah.
actually having a mad transfer window, bro. But anyway,
Yeah, they are.
carry
They
on,
are.
bro.
They are. Big up to them, honestly. But yeah. So I think the spending of that money is definitely wrong. And now I'm curious to see, are they gonna partner him up with Lisandro Martinez instantly, and they're gonna play him as centre back? Because I think that's okay. But if you're trying to get into top four, I don't think an 18-year-old should be your starting centre back week in, week out, no matter how talented he is. Because I think centre back is a position that does require some experience, especially over 38 games. And the kind of money, I didn't even know they were paying him 112K until you just told me right now. So I think that's just absolutely
Mm.
ridiculous. And if he's rejected Real Madrid to join United, which obviously, and it's clearly for money, then yeah, like I don't necessarily think that. I think that's a
Same
big
old
red flag.
United. Same old
Same
United.
old, yeah. It looks like it right now. It looks like it right now.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. Listen, I think the kid's got talent. The kid looks good. For a youth talent, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Let's not act like he's the complete player, but nobody's really claiming that he's the complete player. But he looks good for his age. You know, he's a young talent, has plenty of potential, but it's all about unlocking that potential. It's all about getting that to that level where you're at the top. Um, and for me, I do agree. I think they've overpaid. I think they've overpaid on the actual cost of the player, and they've overpaid on the wages. But listen, we're gonna see. Time will tell what will happen. Will this guy be another flop, or will he be somebody who will change their back line forever? Because or for the next at least 10 years, because
Mm,
he's listen, he's there, man. He's there. You know what I mean? Next to Alessandro Martinez, they're both young. They could be the next partnership for Man United for the next 10 to 15 years. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it
yeah.
definitely could be. But moving on, I know if we got two more topics to speak about. Xavi Simmons to Bayern
Mm.
Munich, as you like to say.
Bayern Munich.
Thoughts on the signing?
Yeah, it's a good signing for them. I like what Bayern Munich are doing. Honestly, I like the moves they're making. I like some of the players they've got. I was a bit skeptic about the company signing in the beginning as a manager, but or
So
as a
was
coach.
I.
But yeah, but obviously, like they had to do what they had to do because the fact is, the first 5 or 6 people they went for all said no, which like says a lot about a team like that. Just 3 4 years ago, a lot of managers would be dying to take over Bayern Munich. So it's
Mm,
crazy, like the fall from grace that they've had. Where I think the signings they've made with Olise, obviously, and I think the kind of moves they're trying to do. I also think that it's good that they're not going crazy, because sometimes when you have a team that dominates for like 10 11 years and then has that one horrendous season which they did last year, you'll see a crazy reaction in them trying to overspend and just bring superstars and make some of these mistakes, which actually sets them back even further. um but I think they're going about it really smart. I think
mm,
he would work really well for them. He can play as a right winger. He can play as an attacking mid. So they get that kind of versatility, which and a similar play style to what they have in Germany, because they kind of used Florian Wirtz and Musiala on the wing, but not
mm,
necessarily strictly on the wing. They could still move in. They could still interchange sides. They could still sometimes go on both sides. It's kind of like a free role. I
mm.
think Xavi Simmons works for that. But if you ask him to play as a right winger, he can play as a right winger because he's left footed. I think he's left footed. I could be wrong. And if he's not left footed, that means he can play on the left. So it's still okay.
Yeah,
It's a very good move. I rate Simmons so high. I actually think he's going to be a massive talent in the future.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of this hopping he's doing at this age. I don't think that makes sense. I know Coleman did that obviously at a young
Well,
age, and
it's a loan, isn't it? Because PSG
even
don't
no,
want
but
to.
even as a loan, because it doesn't change the fact that you've still played for PSG, for Barcelona, for Leipzig, and now let's say he goes to Bayern Munich. I just don't think for a young talent of that kind of quality,
And
it
PSG.
helps because Coleman what and PSV, yeah, exactly, because Coleman was like that. Coleman like played for UV and
Yeah.
PSG and Bayern Munich, And while, of course, he's achieved a lot of great things, he's reached the World Cup final. I don't know if remember if he was there in the 2018 squad or not. If he was, then obviously he would have won a World Cup. Um, he's won a Champions League and scored a Champions League final goal. So he is no scrub. Koeman has a good legacy now with what he's done. But I don't think it's necessarily to that kind of talent where I'm like, oh, this guy has reached that crazy level of talent where he was at some point. I never once thought of Koeman as one of the best wingers in the world, right? Like top three,
Mm.
top four, top five. And I think Xavi Simons has that potential, but this hopping he does from club to club, I think that's very detrimental to a young player at that age. I think it might make sense if you're like 28, 29, you've achieved certain things with two, three clubs. Like when Cristiano moved from United to Madrid to Juve at some point at 33 or 34, whenever he moved, that's nobody will question that because he's achieved at every single club and he's moved on. When Cruz moves from Bayern to Real Madrid, that's also okay. Nobody questions it. Back in the old days when Sidorf would go, let's say, from a Real Madrid to your AC Milan and all that, I think that's okay. Or Ajax, or Pirlo when he played in Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus. These moves are all okay, right? Because these players have achieved and they have moved after achieving certain things. For him personally, if he moves to Bayern Munich, because obviously you said it's a loan deal, I would if I'm him, I would want to make sure that this is a loan deal
No,
with
no, but
like
it's an obligation. So basically, what it is,
exactly loan deal with an
it's a
obligation to
loan.
buy. I would want
It's a
that.
loan with an obligation. I've got the tweet up. It says
Yeah.
that Xavi Simmons wants to move to Bayern Munich. Agreement between Simmons and Bayern Munich. Bayern
Hmm.
want to find an agreement with PSG. Bayern want a loan with obligation to buy for 70 to 80 million. PSG are seeking an obligation to buy for 90 to 100. They want 90 to 100 million is what they want. So they not necessarily do they want, okay, yeah, we'll take it for what you're asking for. They want to reach 100 million. They want to get all they can for this guy. And I think the loan, do you know the reasoning for the loan and why it's a loan process with the
No.
2025? So basically, PSG, they have to go halves with I forgot who owns him. Is it Barcelona or something like that, man?
Was he came from Barcelona?
He came for Barcelona. So I think they'll have to pay Barcelona half of the money if he's
Hmm.
sold before 2025. But if they wait until 2025, they get all of the money. So that's why they're waiting and they're just loaning him out because they want the money from him.
So my
What I
question is
don't answer, why don't they
why would
keep
they
him?
even loan him? Yeah, exactly. Why not
But
just
why
keep him?
I don't know why they don't keep him. He'd walk into their team right now.
Hundred
It
percent,
just
and
it
they've
doesn't make
lost
sense.
Mbappe. You need that star factor. Yes, he's not Mbappe, obviously, in that kind of name quality, but he can become your next talisman because you currently don't have anyone. Dembele isn't that for you. Maybe they're planning to sign Osman, and if he does, then great. But it wouldn't clash with Xavi Simons anyways, because obviously they play different positions. I don't get why PSG is not trying to keep him. You've done whatever you needed to do to get him off Barcelona. Why the hell are you selling? It's not like he's been disappointing and all. He's been really good with Leipzig. He's been amazing with PSV. What is your logic in selling him? I don't understand that once whatsoever. Like, I know they've lost Mbappe and they obviously like want to now get superstars and kind of um continue like where they've left off, but that's not going to happen. The fact that you've lost Mbappe, you are going to have to take two or three steps backwards, especially from
Mm.
a from the Champions League's perspective. Maybe Liga they'll come back and win it again next season. That might not change. But if you want to get back to competing for the Champions League, which is what you were doing with Neymar and Mbappe,
Yeah.
even though they didn't win it. You need these kind of players. Imagine if you have, and we're going to speak about Joao Neves obviously next, but imagine if you have these kind of
Mm.
players and Vitinha and Ruiz and Dembele and Xavi Simons,
Mm.
you will eventually start competing again in 3-4 years, especially if you're able to keep their wages decent and convince them to stay with you.
Yeah, listen, I completely agree, man. I think Xavi Simmons is an incredible player. And I'm just surprised why they aren't keeping him because
Yeah.
he would walk into their team right now. I think he's exactly what they need. He's the player that they need. Um, and listen, they got him from Barcelona. You don't have to sell him. And if people are really willing to go to those lengths and buy him for 100 million, then bun it. You know what I mean? Keep him this
Yeah.
season, see how he does, and then give him the choice. Do you want to stay here or do you want to leave? Do you know what I
They
mean? It's
clearly don't rate
completely
him.
up to you. But they don't rate him, and that is scary because how can the whole footballing world rate him, but then PSG don't? Like, are these guys always backwards? Like, what's going on with
Yeah.
them? Like
And
it always
Khlefi is
seems like
never
they,
someone who will look at money that way. Who will be like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
100 million! I can't say no to it." He's not someone like that.
exactly. He's never thought about money like as if it's, oh, that's good money for the club. No, because he just invests into the club anyway. He does regular investments into the club. So yeah, listen, I just think it's a situation where um if he goes if he goes to Bayern, like you said, I hope he does stay there,
Hmm.
because it's not all about just moving from place to place to place. And yeah, maybe you're winning when you're moving from place to place to place, but sometimes it's good to have some longevity at a club, to
Exactly.
really stamp put your stamp of approval on that team, and then say, you know what, I'm building a legacy here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For them to say, you
Yeah.
know what, that was a historical player. Coleman, bro, they're probably gonna think, yeah, this guy was here for like 2 seasons or something, and then he left. Like, bro, it doesn't bode well
Hmm.
with the word legacy and what it means. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
100%. We will just speak about PSG as well. But just before we do that, obviously Ash dropping a super chat. Big up to you, Ash. Big up to you, not you, Ash. Ash,
Yeah. Not me.
Ash
My
in
Sudanese
the
brother.
exactly.
Zol.
Um, saying I'm getting tired of Arsenal's reluctance to do something so far. If we don't win anything, then we need to hold Arteta and Edu accountable. Yes, 100% we do. We need to hold them accountable if we don't win anything this upcoming season, 100%. Because I think we need to. We need to. Edu's fault, obviously, for not bringing the right players in, and Arteta's fault for why he can't get a win for a trophy from the players he really has, which is a very good team, by the way, at the top level.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, moving into the final topic, which is Joao Neves to PSG. Um, I'll start off with this one. Listen, I think Joao Neves is a very good player.
Hmm.
A young talent again, a young talent. Um, he's very mature in the way that he plays. He reminds me of Mainu, like that
Hmm.
maturity that they have. Like they play like they're 25, 26, 27. They don't play like they're 18. And it's weird because you get a lot of players like this now, a lot of players who play with such maturity, bro. And he's got the skill as well, the way he rolls off the ball, the way
Yeah.
he gets the ball to feet and turns, like
Cazorla like.
great. Yeah, it's Cazorla. Like, is he both footed? Is he both footed? Can you use the
I have no
feet?
idea, but he dribbles with both feet. I don't know if he's an amphi-pedalist. Um,
Okay, calm down, brother. You don't need to drop the whole word, bro.
I mean the
Uh,
word is amphi-pedalist. um,
is Joao Neves? Where is this?
doesn't really say. Doesn't really say. Um, but yeah, like, he's good. He's really good. How old
Yeah,
is he?
he
What,
is.
18, 19? Um,
Uh, he is. Let me just get the Joao
no,
Neves.
capo ambidextrous is your hands. Ambipedalist is legs.
He's 19. He's 19, so he's gonna be
There you
20
go.
in September. He's gonna be 20 in September. So he's not
Mm.
as young as we thought, but still 20 is still young.
Ah, 20 is
But
super young. Yeah.
yeah, but
Look
in
how the
today's
footballing world has
age,
changed in the last few years.
in
Like
this
20 years. You're not that young. It's crazy, bro.
no, but in that age, in the age that we're in now, bro, players are just they're starting so early, bro. And now
Yamal.
with Lamine Yamal, it's crazy how young they're starting their footballing careers. Do you know what I mean? And
Mm.
you got to think about it. It was when we saw Messi playing for Barcelona at the ripe age of 18, he was, or 19.
No, he
Was he
started at
18 or
16, bro.
19?
When he started at Barca, he was 16.
First team.
I mean, he played some games with the first team. If you're talking about regular start every single time, I think he was
No,
19 at the time when he.
when he came on for his debut for Barcelona,
Oh, he
and
was
then
16, bro. Yeah.
was he 16?
Yeah. It was 2006, I think, if I'm not wrong. When he
Was
scored
it?
Isn't it when he
Guys,
scored that lob?
fact check this guy. He's a fraud. Yeah, the
How am I a
Ronaldinho
fraud?
assist with the Ronaldinho assist.
Yes, and he
Yeah,
scored the lob exactly.
yeah.
Okay, so he's
Was he
37
16?
years. 37 years, and if that was in um he's 37 years now. Okay, I
So he
need to
was
check what
17, wasn't
age
he?
was that. Messi's first goal. Oh, then he might have been 17, then not 16. Uh, where is it? His first goal was in 2005. So that's 19 years ago. Oh, then you're right. He was 18. If that's the case,
Aha!
I'm
You
just
see,
confirming to be
this is
sure. I'm
why
just
you
confirming.
fact check Ash because he says stuff with confidence,
Wait,
but
wait, wait. Let me
sometimes
check.
it's wrong, bro.
Yeah, yeah, of course,
You
100%.
just
Yeah, but
you
I
have
admit when
to
I'm
check it.
wrong. I admit when I'm
I
wrong, though.
admit when I'm wrong. When have I not admitted when I'm wrong?
Saka, you don't want to give him criticism no matter what.
No, I give Saka, bro. When have I not give Saka criticism? I've given
I'm
him
kidding. I'm
criticism.
kidding.
I've said that
I'm
he
still
he
checking it out.
passes back a lot. There you are. This guy's just checking it now.
Actually, wait. Stop. I just checked it. On this day, 15 years ago, 17-year-old Messi scored his first goal. When was this? May 2020. So he was 17 then. Not,
Okay, he
not.
was 17.
Okay, so so you were
So we
wrong
were
as
both.
well.
So
We
we
were
were
both
both.
wrong. Yeah, it was in the middle. It was in the
But
middle.
I was
Then fair,
closer.
fair. Huh? You said 18. I said 16. How are you closer? It's literally
Let's
right
have a
there,
look at
bang in the middle,
what year was he born? What year was Messi born? No, what
bro.
month was
You
he
want to
born?
look at the month then, not the year, because the
Yeah,
month is what will tell you what was closer.
yeah. It's nice
When is his
halfway as
birthday?
well. No,
Huh?
he's born in June, bro. So it's halfway. Even the logic to try and get him, bro. I was like, bro, I took an L on that one as well, bro. Yeah, say less. We were
Nah,
both
that's all Gucci,
we were
man.
both
But it
wrong.
was a sick goal, to be honest. Like that goal, I remember
Yeah,
it was amazing.
fucking, I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. Fucking hell, it's been a long fucking. It's long,
Yeah,
man. Can't believe I got to witness Messi from start to finish, man. What a
yeah.
career! What a career, guys.
I still remember
Um,
when he came in the World Cup, and I think he scored and he got a red card, if I'm not wrong. Was it against Serbia and Montenegro? It was literally, I think, his first game, and he gets a red card.
yeah,
I think he was crying when he came off. I mean, he
yeah.
obviously went on to achieve mental things, but yeah.
But so just quickly getting back. So Joao Neves to PSG. Um, listen, I think it's a good signing for them. But I think he's a good player. Actually, I don't know whether going to PSG is the right fit for him though. I don't know why. I just feel like he's being wasted there. I feel like
Hmm.
PSG is a wasting club. Like, it wastes so much talent. I don't want to.
Does it?
They win the league, but bro, when it comes to the Champions League, sometimes they're just pitiful in the Champions League, man.
Last
Like,
season they weren't. Last season they were really good. They
give it
reached
up.
the semifinals.
It was the semi-finals, brother.
Okay.
Give it up,
How
bro.
was that bad? How
Listen,
many English teams made it to the semifinals last season?
listen. That was the Mbappe effect. That was the Mbappe effect. Anyway,
It's not
um,
really, bro. Come on. He wasn't that great against Barca. He was definitely not good against Dortmund.
who
He
scored
wasn't
against
there.
Barcelona?
He scored a penalty, for God's sake, man. Like it's not like, what are we doing here? Like Dembele got them back in the game, and I don't remember who else scored, or maybe Mbappe
Brother,
scored that
forget about
last goal that
Dembele.
was good.
Dembele is a fluke, bro. Dembele is a
And
fluke.
and Araujo, Barca actually were qualifying if it wasn't for that stupid Araujo getting a red card. And it's crazy because I rate Araujo highly.
Right, you
But
rate
yeah,
him
look, I
high.
agree with you. Oh,
He's
Araujo,
very
oh my
rash.
God. I
He's
think
very
he's,
rash for me, bro.
he's rash, but he also reads the game well a lot of times. And he's a good defender. He's quick, which is amazing as well to have in his center back.
He's
He's physically
he's what
tough.
he's what like Gabriel used to do. He has what Gabriel used to have. You
Yeah,
know
but
that
the difference is he's
rash
much younger
bozo
than
gene.
Gabriel. Correct, but the difference is he's much younger than Gabriel. So if Gabriel
How
at
old is he?
27, isn't he 21 or 22? He's 22 now, I think, right?
I just spell his name.
Araujo. Yeah, there you go. Ronald Araujo. Height. Oh, he's 25 now. Oh, okay. So he's not even okay, but he's still how old is Gabriel? 27?
Yeah, so they're only 2 years apart, bro. But
Yeah, okay,
when
but
he came
Gabriel
to
until
us,
2 years ago had that bozo gene. Remember, against Fulham and the red cards against Leeds. This is literally two
but I
seasons ago.
just
I'm talking about.
I just feel like he's still got that in at the moment, and he needs to get rid of that. You know what I mean? Because he's coming up to his prime in 2 years, so he needs to get rid of that in the next 2 years because he's going to be playing at the top level. Do you know what I mean? And it's but anyway, moving back to Joao
Joao
Neves. By the
Neves.
way, Ter Stegen is a fraud.
Yes,
Neuer is better than him.
I won't even bother. I won't even. I mean, yeah, peak of course, peak 100% Neuer is better. Yeah,
Bro, I swear
I think Neuer is the best keeper of all time.
I don't know what it is about freaking Ash and Ter Stegen, bro. He loves this guy, bro.
Bro, I
It's
just rate him. He's a very good goalkeeper. Like I don't understand.
no,
Like
but
anyone who's watched him.
you said he's one of the best keepers around right now.
No, 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 no. I didn't say that. I said he's the best goalkeeper in the world right now. I'm not even saying around. I don't put him second, third. He's number one because he's
Better than
not only.
Allison.
I think he's better than Allison because, in my opinion, not only
That's
does he not
bullshit.
make many blunders, his saves are incredible. Last two
The
seasons
only
ago, I was telling you guys this Barca
only reason
broke the record for best defense, and he was a big part of that.
only
And he's
reason why you're
incredible.
saying is the only reason why you're saying blunders right now is because last season Allison kind of had a bit of a madness, bro.
No, when they won the league in that 99-point season, he made a blunder that gave us one goal, right? That gave us the first goal when we beat them 2-1 in that
Yeah,
COVID season when we went on to win the FA Cup. He's also had blunders I think last season he did have a blunder against Man City. He's had other blunders before. By the way, I don't have anything against Allison to that level. I actually rate Allison. I think Allison is definitely top 3 in the world. And I love the thing that Allison is kind of flawless as a goalkeeper. Like he's good with his feet, but he's also good in shot stopping. He's good in one-on-ones. But I'm telling you guys don't watch Stegen enough. He is as good. He does these exact same things. He pulls off mental saves out of nowhere, saves that you don't think any keeper has a right to save. A lot of times he does double saves as well in that same phase of attack. He's incredible with his feet, which kind of makes sense because I think a lot of German keepers are trained on that. And I'm telling you because I've been watching him since his Mönchengladbach days. I'm a big fan of Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga, and I've been watching him since he was in the Bundesliga 2012 or 2013, and obviously
fucking hell.
and he joined Barcelona in 2014, and in his first season they won the treble he was their keeper in the Champions League. He wasn't
Oh,
their
give
keeper
it
in
a
the league.
rest.
What do
Look
you
at this guy
mean?
in their first season. He won a treble.
Yeah, yeah, of course he's not the main
How much
reason. We all know
save?
it's
How
MSN.
much
We all know it's
save?
MSN, but
Exactly. So let's
but
calm
but
down.
but 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 Saad,
They
they
acted
had
like they had
They had
astronomical
Claudio
defensive
Bravo. They
records.
had Claudio Bravo as their main keeper in the league, right? And Stegen as their main keeper in the Champions League. And because Stegen was so good, they split the tournaments. And that next summer, when they had to get rid of one of them, guess who they got rid of? Not Claudio Bravo, who was incredible at that season and had an amazing season. They actually got rid of him and kept Stegen instead because he was the better keeper, and that's paid off. That's clearly paid off. So I'm telling you, I'm not saying this out of ignorance. I watch a lot of Barca games. They're probably the
Yeah,
second
no,
team I
that's
watch
fair
the most
enough.
after Arsenal, and he had like an 85% save percentage 2 seasons ago. Do you know how mental that is for a goalkeeper to have, while also being good at playing with your feet, building from the back, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I guess Premier League tax unfortunately sometimes doesn't give credit to these other players in the other leagues. But yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, well, anything to say about
You
Jean
started this. I didn't even talk about it. You started this. I don't know why.
Neves? There you are. Anything to say about Jean Neves before we wrap up?
Yeah, yeah. Look, as I said, I think he has a little Cazorla-like kind of tendencies with the way he dribbles, the way he does the nice dribbles in tight spaces and stuff. I love the fact that he's a hard worker. You can see him like running all over the pitch.
Yeah,
I've seen him play a few times. Like he just seems like he's always putting in 100%, always tracking back. Um, the only concern I have, this might sound silly because one of the best teams to ever play the game from a club level, Barcelona, they didn't necessarily have physically imposing midfielders like Busquets. I know he's like obviously tall and all, but he's not the most physically imposing midfielder, and Iniesta and Xavi weren't, right? So there's clearly a good example there. But I think that Barcelona team was super special. I don't know how it's gonna work for PSG if they're playing Joao Neves, Vitinha, and Fabian Ruiz. together in the same midfield. Yes, all three of them are super techy, incredible on the ball. It'll be super difficult for any team to get the ball of any of these three guys, right? So possession wise and in terms of creating chances, you're gonna have a very, very good midfield. But for me personally, I do value pace and power a lot. And I do think you sometimes need that one player in your midfield to have that physical dominance and physical presence as well. I think Rice brought that for us really well last season. Um, I think when we play Rice and Party, it gives us a stronger impetus. And this is why I rate some players like Onana, right? Amadou Onana, I think that moved to Aston Villa. And as you mentioned, we'll discuss it next time. But these
Yeah.
kind of midfielders do add a lot, especially when you have these kind of creative players. So the destroyers win the ball, give the ball to these creative players, and they can do damage. Can these three guys gel together? Maybe. I don't know. But I feel like that might be a problem. But I rate
Fabio
him
Ruiz is a steal, by
highly.
the way. People are going to be in for him. I see that happening this window. I see people going in for Fabio Ruiz, bro, because he had an amazing tournament. I think he was robbed for player of the tournament, to be honest.
I swear to you, bro, I was about to say the same thing. I genuinely think he was their best midfielder. It wasn't Rodri.
Yeah, he
Rodri was
was.
amazing. Don't get me wrong. But I think Rodri won it more by reputation and not by
But Rodri,
actually out.
even that final, how long have you got right now? How
Yeah,
long have
yeah,
you got?
yeah. We can finish this. It's fine.
How long have you got?
Like
Just
10
tell
minutes,
me.
5, 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, Khalas, we'll talk about the final then. Because everybody's like, where's the Saad cooking? Where's the England cooking? So we'll give you like 5 minutes to just go over the England game because
I mean, I
everybody
won't be
wants them
cooking
to be cooked.
Saad as much because Saad, to be fair, kind of predicted them to lose like way earlier. So it's not necessarily on.
But
Uh,
obviously, in regards to what's it called? What was I just talking about?
um, Fabian Ruiz, Rodri.
Yes,
You were saying something about
yes.
Rodri.
Rodri in that final, it was proven that Rodri can be replaced and somebody can
Yeah.
do Rodri's job. I
Super
don't think in
Mendy as
that
well.
final they could have brought in somebody that could do Fabian Ruiz's job.
No
They
chance.
couldn't.
No
So
chance.
that shows how much he deserved that play of the tournament, bro. And he was robbed.
And to clarify for those listening, there's no way we're saying Ruiz overall is a better player than Rodri. It's not a crazy thing to say, but obviously Rodri is the better midfielder. I think he's one of the
Yeah.
best in the world. He's definitely the best defensive midfielder in the world. There's no question about that. And he's obviously going to go down as an absolute legend. He's already won a treble. He's won a Euros. He only needs a World Cup now to complete his collection. But what we're sorry, Ashraf, I can't do it. But what we're saying, by the way, you're in UAE, so you know it's like 12:30 here, and
Yeah,
I
it's
have work
crazy.
the next day.
Wallah, he's got
I don't
work,
know. I'm
bro.
assuming you might. Um,
I'm sick at the moment, bro. But anyway,
yeah, I'm not saying that obviously Fabian Ruiz is a better midfielder than Rodri, but I'm
yeah.
saying as incredible as Rodri is, and he is world class, absolute legend. But for a game, like for a final, you can get someone who might not be as good as him, but will do a decent job. I think the stuff that Fabian Ruiz is doing, where he gets the ball, dribbles out of very difficult situations, and creates that danger forward, I just think is super underrated. And yeah, he's definitely. I don't think he'll stay at PSG for long. I genuinely don't. I think eventually, in 2 or 3 seasons, he'll get a big move,
How old is he,
a
by the
bigger
way?
move. Oh, I don't know about that. Because when he joined PSG, he wasn't young, was he?
He's 28. So he's still in his
Yeah,
prime,
there you
bro.
go.
He's still in his prime.
Yeah, but to get a big move to like your Real Madrid and stuff like that, he needs to move in a Euro max.
Hmm. Anyway, give us your thoughts, man.
Look, as I said, it won't necessarily be a start cooking, guys, because he predicted them to get out of Slovakia. For God's sake, so that's
And then, and
it's
then,
nothing
and
on
then Ash
Saad
had to
here.
plead their case, bro. You have to be like, hold on a minute, man.
Yeah, I was like, come on,
Hold
bro.
on a
To be honest, you were so close to getting it right because if it wasn't for a Bellingham
minute.
mad bicycle kick, like they would have actually got knocked out by Slovakia.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, the final didn't go anything different from what I predicted. I generally predicted Spain dominating possession. I predicted them winning. I didn't predict them conceding. That's the funny thing. I actually thought they'll end up winning like 1-0 or 2-0. So I was surprised that England did come back in the game because up until that moment, it didn't look like England were in the game at all,
Hmm.
right? And the way they've been playing, and for me personally, I'm a huge advocate of the best team in the tournament winning it. I don't like when teams like fluke their way to winning a tournament. I understand it is what it is. It's part of knockout football, and sometimes you could be one of the worst teams, but you just defend really well. Like Portugal in 2016. Portugal weren't the strongest team in the tournament. They weren't the best team. They weren't the most entertaining team. They didn't have the best performances. They were not the most impressive. If anyone remembers that tournament, they drew every single game in that group stage, and they still went on to win it. I think if England won this tournament, it would have been the exact same thing. It would have been a case of, hey, they went through the easier route, right, to get to the final, and then the final they just kind of fluked it all the way in and managed to win by a goal or by penalties. But in my I am glad that the best team won. I did predict Spain to reach the finals from the very beginning, and I thought they will meet France in the finals and lose. Obviously, that didn't happen. They did meet France, and they actually knocked them out. Lamine Yamal 100% deserves Young Player of the Tournament. Phenomenal player. I read a stat. This could be fake. It could be false. But I think he's the first player to have a goal contribution in every single one of the knockout stages. He's definitely, I think, the only one to do it in the round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, because the round of 16 thing only started in 2016 when the format changed. So that is incredibly impressive. Kyle Walker and Luke Shaw started the game really well. Were locking Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. But this is why I don't rate. By the way, I rate Kyle Walker. I think he's a good defender, but I think people overhype him like crazy. Because for most people, a good right back or a good left full back actually is someone who's incredible in one-on-one situations. But that's not the only thing about defending. You have to also be aware of your positioning. You have to also be aware of who's making runs behind you. You go one-on-one with Kyle Walker, yeah, there's a good chance Kyle Walker will get the best out of you. The same with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for example. But that's not the only thing that matters in defending. In fact, it's a lot harder to do positional defending, where you have to actually mark your position, make sure the guy doesn't run behind you, make sure you're not letting someone tap in a ball and you're covering your man well. That's a lot harder. That's why some of the top quality center backs, they're rated so highly because they end up doing that so well, not because they're just one-on-one demons. And as good as Kyle Walker and Luke Shaw were doing in the first half, it took just a little moment for them to sleep and for Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams to sneak in behind and obviously manage to score. And then we saw it with the second goal as well. I will say this, like, people will give credit to Southgate and to England and say, yeah, well, we've reached the finals. We have not done this before. Back-to-back Euro finals. It's incredible. I'm sorry, but you have to look at that run. That run in the knockout stage was a lot easier. I'm not saying it's easy, because I know there's no easy game in the Euros or in these kind of knockout tournaments, but it was 100% relatively easier than what any other team could have gone through, right? And luck has played a factor for them. That's, again, a reality of things. And because of that, they ended up reaching the finals. I think if they finished second and they were in the other bracket where Denmark went through, they played Germany and then Spain, and then I don't think they'd
They'd have
make
been
it past
out. They would have been out.
100%. 100%. So the fact that he quit is a very, very good thing for England. Where it'll get tricky now is, what do they do next? Are they going to sign a Graham Potter, who would probably fail with them as well? Or are they actually going to say, hey, listen, let's stop with these kind of meaty managers and actually convince someone like Tuchel or Klopp to take over, who are specialists in
Well,
this
now
kind
he's
of
gone. Now he's gone. Thank fuck for that. And I had to watch fucking Southgate ball. Thank the Lord. Thank you. Ya Allah. Thank you.
Well,
We don't have to watch that anymore.
you'll have to
Vel,
wait and see who you get,
first of
bro.
all, Rabiot to Arsenal, yes or no?
No, 100% no.
I think he's an
God,
average
no.
player. I
Yeah.
don't.
I would have
want-
taken him maybe like 10 years ago, not now.
Yeah, he's a bit mad. Vel, what did McAllister do, bro? Why is everybody saying that they're disgusted and disappointed in McAllister?
I think he means the chance, the Enzo Fernandez, because he was part of the bus and stuff.
Oh, was he in there?
He must have been there, yeah.
Yeah, Vel, you need to let me know what he done in it. But anyway, listen, Ash, big up to you, my brother. My ears are
Big up.
popping like crazy, bro. Like I've just been on a plane for hours.
Yeah, you need to go and rest it out, bro.
Bro, I'm fucked, bro. Anyway, listen, big up to you, Ash, man. I appreciate you for coming through and
By the way, FK clarified. He said he commented on the situation and defended Enzo, which is also stupid.
McAllister, man. Fuck it,
Yeah.
hell. Anyway, yeah, fucking hell, man. This guy. Yeah, I'm gonna double check it. Actually, I've got it here. I hope you don't mind if I just quickly read it.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Alexis McAllister on Enzo Fernandez case. You have to be careful with what you say or do. Um, we got to work Sunday. You timing is wild. uh, yeah, sorry, Ash and Ash, both
Yeah,
Ashes.
yeah, it's all good, bro. It's all
Um,
good.
it said you have to be careful with what you say or do, especially in Europe where they are much more sensitive than here. The reality is that we are not a racist country. We are not used to talking about racism as much. Yes, it's a very important topic. Obviously, Enzo has already apologized and explained what happened. I don't think there's much more to say. We know Enzo. We know he would never do it with bad intentions. He's not that guy. He's not racist. It's just a chant that got stuck and is more of a mocking tone than anything else. But as I
Mm,
said, you have to
sure.
be very careful. I think the most important thing is that Enzo came out and gave a corresponding apology, and that in the end should be valued. First of all, his apology sounded fake as fuck, but anyway,
Exactly.
let's
And
let's not
also,
sit here and
don't
fuck
give me
it.
that. They need to stop that crap because when Van Gaal came out speaking against them in the World Cup and saying, "Oh, they have a weakness on this and all," they took it so sensitive and so personal to the point where Messi started calling Wout Weghorst an idiot, even though
Yeah.
Wout Weghorst was just approaching him to say, "Can I get a picture or something like that?" That's it, right? So they need to stop acting like, "Oh, the world is sensitive" when they're being stupid. How many countries, by the way, do you know national teams that don't have a single black player in their team? Not
Mm.
one. Not one. Right? Not. I can't. I genuinely cannot think of a single country that comes to my mind where I can't see a single black player. Where I don't know a single black player there. So they need to kind of stop with that bullshit, please. Like it's getting a bit annoying.
It's weird. It's weird. But anyway, McAllister is an idiot. I don't know why he didn't just shut his mouth and not get
Exactly.
involved at all. Why are you even speaking, brother? You're not that guy. You are not that guy. You're clearly not blessed with the ability to choose your words wisely because you wouldn't have used they're much more sensitive.
There's a
Brother, you
reason
just
Messi
killed
hasn't
yourself.
spoken.
Idiot. Anyway, listen, big up to everybody that has tuned in, big up to everybody that has watched us, and make sure you're smashing the like button, make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and if you're watching the replay, make sure to do the same, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out, people. Love for the love. Peace. Peace.